Welcome back to the Inspire, Create, Manifest podcast. I'm your host, Joe Longo, an intuitive mindset coach and author of Simplicity and Awareness, The Great Remembering. This show is here to help you cut through the noise, reconnect with your clarity, and create results that actually feel aligned, not forced. Every week we explore real conversations, simple mindset shifts, powerful stories that help you live with more awareness and purpose. Because clarity isn't something you find, it's something that you remember. So take a break with me. Tune in and let's connect to your next level focus. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Inspire, Create, Manifest podcast. I'm your host, Joe Longo. Thanks for being here with me today. And today we are slowly going to start dipping our toes into a working title, The Warrior's Path. And I'm not really sure if that's going to be what it is. This all really came flying through into my consciousness, a download, if you will, this past Saturday evening, I think it was. And as it flew in, right, this idea of the warrior's path hit, and not the kind of warrior who fights with weapons, right, but one who fights for awareness, for truth, and for the sovereignty of our own mind. Think about that. What if we are these warriors of light, if you will? We are on this warrior's path, and the battle that we are fighting is for our own awareness. I want to start this conversation that a lot of this idea came up recently around Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil. I've been talking about it a lot. I've read it a couple of times. And in his book, Napoleon Hill says, I control people who think they are thinking, but are not. And man, did that line hit me. And it hits every time that I read it, that I think about it. Because if we look around us right now, it is clear that we are in some kind of battle. But it's not a battle of swords. It's not even a battle of politics, although the distraction is taking you to the politics. But it literally is a battle between consciousness and unconsciousness. And I'm not saying you or anybody else is unconscious, but I've been sitting in this space of, is it really a battle between good and bad and angels and demons? But what is it? What is it? And when most people hear good versus evil, right, they picture that mythic struggle, heaven, hell, gods, demons, all of the stuff that you look and you're like, come on, is this real? But what if that story was never meant to be external? What if it has always been a mirror for the human mind and for what's inside of us? Good isn't some invisible army. Maybe we want it to be, and we think there's a good guy and a bad guy. But good is awareness, it's presence, it's compassion, it's truth, it's creative energy. Evil, it's not the devil. It's not the devil in the shadows. It's not this big monster. But it's deception, it's fear, it's greed, it's manipulation, and the mindless reactions that we give it all. Napoleon Hill says in his book, Outwitting the Devil, that evil is drifting through life on autopilot, thinking that you're awake when you're not, thinking that you're thinking when you're not. So, my friends, we are in a battle, but it's being fought in the level of awareness every single day by the choices that you're making on what you are allowing into your consciousness to what you are putting out of yourself. So let's bring this a little bit closer to home and take a moment and take a breath and just think about our modern culture. Everything that's going on, from the protests to the you're on that side and I'm on this side and we can't be friends anymore because you voted for them or you believed in them. And this, my friends, is distraction Distraction by design. These are designed distractions. When we scroll endlessly, consuming, reacting, looping in outrage cycles, fear porn, if you will, literally things to keep you living in fear and you don't even realize it. Every swipe is pulling us further from stillness, further from the space where our own inner guidance is speaking to us. Fear porn has literally become currency. Every system works better when people are afraid. You're afraid of being broke. You're afraid of being alone. You're afraid of being unworthy. Afraid of people talking about you, afraid of obeying, afraid of saying the right thing, afraid of success. All of these things have been programmed and manipulated into fear. And the things that used to be sacred are now mocked. Depth is replaced by performance. Quantity is replacing quality. It's noise over the actual signal. And it's almost impossible to slow down long enough to ask, wait a minute, what is real? What's mine? Where do I fit into all of this? And whether you call it the devil or evil or shadows or just a collective unconsciousness, it doesn't matter. The mechanics is the same. Keep the human being from remembering who and what they are. Keep the human being from remembering who and what they are. And so many of us want to go right to religion and politics, but it's not about that. It is literally about your attention. The fight is over your own sovereignty, your consciousness, your ability to think for yourself and to recognize the group thought when it's happening and to say, maybe this doesn't add up. Maybe this doesn't make sense. Maybe the things that we think we're thinking, we're actually not even thinking. And that is when the devil got you, when evil got you, when unawareness gets you, because that is what it comes down to. So you see, we have a good side, what we can call a good side. And the good side is anything that helps you stay awake. Meditation, art, truth telling, living your truth, living simply. And the evil side is anything that lulls you back to sleep, lulls you back to just blindly following along, lulls you back into autopilot. And this is why I'm going to say this, all of the ancient teachers, mystic, yogis, Yeshua himself has said this all the same thing. They told us all the same thing. And you know what it was? It's really simple. It's two words. Actually, one word: awake. Stay awake. Stay awake. Can we stay awake? Can we be aware? Be still. They weren't just being poetic. I thought someone was knocking on the studio door. It's just acorns falling. I totally lost my train of thought. But oh, right. Awake, awake, awake. All of the greatest teachers through all of time have said, stay awake. And everything that you need is inside of you. When Yeshua came to wake us up, to remind us that we have a direct connect between us and God, he was killed for it. And we can read the books now, and you can see the manipulation in the book that was twisted and turned into distraction. Even his teachings have been turned into a distraction, into more fear porn, into this idea that if you don't do this the right way, you are going to burn in hell forever. So, what does it actually mean to walk this warrior's path that we're creating? It means that you stop looking for external energy. It means that you stop looking for external enemies and you start mastering your own internal landscape. You realize that every moment of clarity is a victory for you. Every moment of fear met with awareness is a battle that you win. Every act of compassion, every breath of truth is a sword that you get to use to slay your dragons. The real war is not out there. And they have been teaching us this forever. And it's the only thing that has actually been held true throughout the teaching. But it's so simple that we don't realize it. Everything you need is inside. The war isn't out there. The war is you and your consciousness. The modern warrior doesn't conquer. The modern warrior remembers who you truly are on the inside. And we can say, isn't this just psychological? Isn't there something bigger going on? I've been sitting in the space of who's the puppet master? We're the puppet master. We're controlling everything. When enough people drift into the unconscious, that energy field becomes real. It creates what Paul called principalities of power, energetic systems that feed on fear and attention. Now, think about everything that we have seen in our world and in our society the last 5 years. Fear, be afraid of this, be afraid of that, be afraid of this. Oh my goodness, if he's the president, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid. And of course, you're going to be afraid because it has been shoved down your throat to be afraid that this horrible thing is going to happen. There's nobody pulling the strings except for you. Is there a cosmic layer? Maybe. But the entry point is always your own personal awareness. That's where your power lives, in your own awareness. Winning isn't about destroying some kind of enemy. It's simply about remembering who you are. When you stop drifting, like Napoleon Hill refers to in his book, you stop feeding fear. When you reconnect with truth, you shift the field. You shift the entire field around you. You weaken the web of deception. And when enough of us do that, the collective shifts. The warrior's path is showing up moment by moment, choosing awareness over distractions, presence over autopilot, truth over comfort. So, yeah, the battle is on, my friends, and it is winnable moment by moment, breath by breath, with simplicity and awareness. I want to give you a reflection for the day, a practice that when you catch yourself drifting, take a moment and pause and say, am I giving my power away to fear and distractions? Am I giving my power to the noisy world? And then just take a moment and come back to you, come back to your breath. And in that moment, in that pause, in that space of awareness, you won a battle for the day. And we keep going, and we keep going, and we keep going. Friends, I'm building something really special called the Warrior's Path. I'm super excited. And this is just the beginning. This is just some of the ideas that have been flowing through my consciousness the last couple of days. I'm excited to start sharing more of it with you. If you are curious about stepping into awareness, stepping into simplicity, reach out, hit that link down in the show notes, schedule a clarity call, and let's talk. Let's see where you are, where you want to be, and what might be getting in the way. And how can we come back to awareness of the distractions so you can come back to you? Thanks for being here, everybody. Like, subscribe, share, do all the things. And I'll see you back here on Thursday.